Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me here today. My name is Penny. I am an astrologer and a tarot reader. I've been doing that for upwards of 7 years at this point. So today we are going to do a pick a card reading for basically what is your spirit animal. And this is not really how you find your spirit animal. This is more so an introduction for people who haven't really been exposed to the practice of spirit animals before, and they would like to get a little introduction here. So I do want to go ahead and emphasize that going on a real spirit animal journey to actually meet your spirit animal, whether it's a meditation, a vision quest of some sort, whatever method it is, meeting your spirit animal is a huge self-actualizing experience. And this pick a card reading is at most only going to be the tip of the iceberg. So if you enjoy this or you really want to know what your spirit animal is, I highly encourage you to find someone who can help you on that guided meditation. And it's worth the experience because a spirit animal can really do a lot for you in life. It can help you work through some of the problems that you might not have been otherwise able to understand. I know for people on my channel, we usually use astrology and tarot to overcome the obstacles in our lives. But a spirit animal, what is really like a more condensed version and singularly whole understanding of some of your troubles and some of your personality traits that you may be able to find new, refreshing ways to integrate into your life. So there's a lot of different cultures who have studied the practice of spirit animals. And to me, a lot of different cultures who have been able to realize that people take on the personalities of various animals and realize the significance of that and realize that it can help us in life. So Choctaw, for example, from what I understand, they will actually go out into the wild during their youth. It's called, I believe, the coming of age, and that is how they will find their spirit animal. Now, what I did to find my spirit animal, since I did not grow up in a Native American tribe, is I had someone assist me in a guided meditation, and I was able to, spiritually see my spirit animal there coming to me. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to let you pick a card. I'm starting in this order up here for when you watch the video later, but please take your time to pick a card. You want to be even more patient than you would be with other pick a card readings because this is a very big deal, essentially. And I did 12 cards, which is not enough, but that's all I'm doing for today. And I'll explain that a little bit later. I'm going to have pictures on my Instagram and on my Facebook. So after this live video is done, you can refer back to those if you need a still image to help you pick your card. And then it'll be easier to keep track of what number it is as well. So the card that you pick, it is going to be something that you are called to today for a specific reason. And there is some chance it could actually be your spirit animal. You could get really lucky and one of these cards here might be your spirit animal and you might be drawn to it today. Now, there's a possibility that one of these cards here is your spirit animal, but you're not ready to meet it yet today and you won't even get it. So this is like, we're kind of playing roulette here, but I want you to understand that whichever card you feel drawn to today, there's a reason for it. There's a reason, and hopefully we can get you to understand what that animal's knowledge and wisdom can do for you today. But other than that, what's likely going to happen is most of us are going to end up with a card that is similar to what our spirit animal actually is and kind of gives us an idea of who they are so that we can meet them later on. But I cannot simulate the process of you meeting your spirit animal in a pick a card video. It's not possible, but we're just going to have a little fun with this today and we're going to get to know ourselves a little better. Another thing I want to talk about before I start interpreting the cards here is that spirit animal is not just about your personality. That's one thing that makes it totally different from astrology. You know, when we talk about Leo, we are talking about the Leo sun, moon, and rising people that we know, and we are talking about their personalities. So an interesting thing about spirit animal is, yeah, it kind of has to do with your personality, but this is like a guide for you. This is something that you need to be able to gain the wisdom of. So with the animal you get today and the wisdom that I'm able to share about that animal, it might be something that you need, some kind of advice that you need to be able to take and you need to be able to integrate into your life right now. But it might not actually be your spirit animal, and it might not actually say anything about your personality. But with that being said, you know, this like long wall of text disclaimers. Hopefully you took the time to actually listen to it because it was important. Good for you, since you did, since you're still here. We're going to go ahead and get started with card number 1 over here, and then I'm going horizontal, and then this, I believe, will be card number 6, and then all the way down to card number 12 here at the bottom. So first, guess what? You're not a bunny. That was fake. You're not really a bunny. First, we're going to come into card number 1. I'm having a lot of trouble getting this on. Oh, I didn't think this out too well, did I? I'm not sure how to get those lines to go away. Okay, but this one is an eagle. So the eagle is a very powerful, wise, and capable animal. So eagle spirit animal people have the potential to see everything from a very large perspective. You know, nothing in life really has to be a surprise for them. They're very aware. They're able to see everything that's going on. And in a lot of ways, they're very lucky. They're very fortunate. They have the wisdom, the power, the fortitude, and the foresight to be able to not just succeed in life, but to be able to see all of the opportunities and compare them and consider what it is that they actually want to take the leap for. So these are very capable people, and this card today is telling you that you need to be able to see opportunities from a larger perspective. You know, don't get zoned in on competing. Don't get too worried about what other people are doing. This is speaking of confidence and knowing yourself, but then also knowing your surroundings, being very aware of your surroundings so that you can take advantage of your power and your intellect and really use all of the opportunities that are available to you in life. So that's a very wonderful spirit animal to have. All right, card number 2. And this is a gull, more commonly known as the seagull. So this is a bird that essentially gets a good amount of its food from the water, showing that you have the ability to experience the freedom of the air, and you're a good communicator, and you do well within social groups. You do well within groups that have a specific structure and agreed upon rules. So when you're in a situation where you don't have rules and you don't have a sense of social structure, that can be very frustrating for you. And that's probably not really going to be where you're in your prime. If you can't come to mutual agreements with the people around you, then you won't be living your best life, essentially. There's probably a lot of struggle happening and a lot of time and energy being wasted. But if you're able to work with others together as a team, that's when the power of the seagull is really going to come out. And that's when you're going to see that more. And seagulls have an incredible ability to be resourceful and to use all of the opportunities that they have. So as long as you have that teamwork on your side and your social structure is in good standing, you're going to be able to thrive no matter the conditions. You're going to be incredibly resilient. All right, card number 3. All right, as I said, some of these are going to be very general today. And this one is just plain and simple a cat. Now, if you are familiar with Native American traditions, I don't know of a single tribe where, you know, just a plain old domesticated cat is considered to be a spirit animal. And, you know, this, like I said, this isn't an actual like spirit animal vision type of thing. I personally think that it's possible that your spirit animal is an actual regular house cat, because I just feel like our souls are so infinite. There's so many possibilities, essentially, is what I'm saying here. But what is more likely going on is that your spirit animal is some type of feline that isn't represented in the other cards here today. And, spirit wants to guide you to pursue that a little bit further. Now, one thing that kind of all cats have in common is that they have a really good balance of work and relaxation. They're kind of like the work hard, play hard type, but they can also take the extreme of being very, very lazy. So to some extent, this has to do with knowing when to use your energy, and also knowing who is worth trusting in life. Who can you actually trust as an ally? Because you're capable of being independent and you thrive while being independent. But when you have people in your life who kind of disrupt your schedule, disrupt your routine, that can be problematic, because that would prevent you from being able to live your best life, essentially. And that's what I'm getting from this today. All right, card number, is this 4? Yeah, it's 4. So this is going to be 6 then. All right, card number 4 is just birds in general. So similar to the cat one, this is telling you that your spirit animal probably did not appear on any of the other cards here today. So it could potentially be an owl, it could be a raven, a crow, basically any other type of bird. It could be something along the lines of a hummingbird. And one thing that all birds kind of have in common is they embrace the elements of freedom. They don't let things weigh them down in life. And, even birds like seagulls that do agree to certain sets of rules, it's really only the rules that they actually agreed with. They made their own rules and they maintained their sense of freedom because of that. So another thing about birds is that they're good communicators. They're good at looking for other resources rather than just acting independently. They have a way of kind of fishing for information about things, if you will. So this means you're someone who is very knowledgeable, very good at collecting information, and you would need a job that helps you be able to use that information to its full extent, and hopefully gives you other opportunities to be able to learn as well. All right, card number 5. And this one is the puma. So the puma is a large, powerful cat. I think it's a little bigger, no, a little smaller is what I really meant, than the jaguars, the tigers, those types of animals. It's a little bit more middle of the road. And I actually feel like I don't really know as much about puma. So what it says on this card right here, this is the Animal Spirits Knowledge cards by is that her name? I don't know. Susan Eleanor Boulette Trust. Yeah, I assume that. Published by whatever. Okay. That is the information for the card. And it says they symbolize power, desire, and healing. So I feel like these cats are really good at traveling, at coming a long way in life, and being able to live in a reasonable variety of different terrains. Now, this is me totally guessing. You're going to want to look it up later. But Puma is the card that you were apparently drawn to today. I'm sorry that I wasn't able to articulate that more. And then we have the dolphin for today. And the thing about dolphins is they really go after what they want. They're very much fueled by emotions, and they're a powerhouse for being able to move forward and to seize their heart's desire, to really go after that and to know what it is that they want emotionally. And that inward calling, it hits them very loud and clear, and they tend to not really let anything get in their way when they see something that they actually want. They care about how they spend their time a lot. They want to live their life to its fullest. They want to experience joy. They want to be able to try new things. They don't let other things hold them back in life. They are connected to their own emotional and spiritual well-being so that they can fulfill their purpose. So if there's something blocking you from what you want, or you're creating excuses or trying to suppress your emotions, that's not really using your dolphin energy to its fullest potential. You might want to look into that and be true to yourself. All right, card number 7 down here is the rabbit. All right, so rabbits they're quick, they're nimble, they're able to dodge some potentially dangerous circumstances, but they're also quite small. So this is saying that you're someone who is vulnerable in a lot of ways in life, and that you probably have a lot of people who target you for various reasons, either because they're trying to take advantage of you for their own financial gain, or because they thought you were cute and pretty and attractive and they want to make you like a nice little trophy, stuff like that. That's kind of what it means to be a rabbit. You have something that a lot of people are seeking and a lot of people are after and that they want, and you have the ability to create beautiful things for yourself in your own life. But if you let other people take that from you, then you're not going to be able to create what you were really meant to be able to create in this life. So that's part of the reason that you were drawn to the rabbit today. All right, next we have the heron. So I believe this is another bird that lives by the water. I'm trying to think of which one they are. You know, when I go to a lake or whatever, which one is actually the heron. Like I said, I'm not an expert on this. I'm an astrologer and a tarot reader. I just happen to know a little bit about this, and I wanted to introduce you to it today. I think they pretty much exclusively eat fish and I guess whatever else they can find in the water. They're not scavengers in the same way that other birds are, or at least not to the same extent, because I don't see them doing that. And they apparently symbolize life, feminine energy, and renewal. So I feel like a heron's life, it might not change as much. It might not be as turbulent, but it has a sense of uh, remaining committed to your own path and kind of reusing that same energy over and over again to keep yourself empowered, to keep yourself moving forward. And I'm feeling that heron people, they're probably very peaceful for the most part. You know, they know what they want, they know their place in life, and they are standing by it and they're keeping themselves stable. And there might be some other forces that come in. They try to scare you away. They try to get you feeling unstable. They try to get you essentially off of your path, which is not right for you. And you aren't really the type to just stand firm and hold your ground. You might have to kind of flee or redirect for a short while to avoid the confrontation, because you don't really want that confrontation. You're a peaceful person. But even in fleeing for a short while, it's about, knowing when it's time to come back, knowing when you have to temporarily invest your energy in something else, and then you can kind of come back to that project that really had a lot of meaning to you. I'm also getting that heron people are very creative. So that's another thing that we have there. All right, what is this number? Okay, that would be 12, 11, 10, 9. Card number 9. Okay, so I don't know why I keep looking at these. So I actually have, the funny thing is that I have other animal knowledge cards of some other type that I put over these because they're bigger, and these being knowledge cards, they all have the same background, and then it actually says what it is on this side. So it wasn't ideal for a pick a card. But this one is the wolf, and this is an actual legit and very common spirit animal in Native American culture, partially because wolves are pack animals and they do actually inhabit this land in the Americas, which is where I currently live. And they are loyal, they work well with a team, but they also have a pretty heavy "don't fuck with me" attitude. So a wolf is not willing to put up with a whole lot of bullshit, but at the same time, they are willing to help people. They are willing to be very generous. So this is about knowing who is your tribe, who is the group of people that you can actually trust, who is on your team, and who's going to help you accomplish your goals versus who is just kind of going to be perpetually problematic. And I think that's a lesson for a lot of wolf people, is to weed out those people who are constantly just being problematic. And it doesn't necessarily mean that that person's going to be left to die. It doesn't mean that they're an awful person. And I think some wolves, since since they're naturally loyal, they feel guilty about leaving people. But the thing is that it, you don't really need to feel guilty, because the thing is, you're just not meant to be in that person's life. You're not meant to be part of their pack if they're creating so many extra problems for you. So finding the right pack, which for humans could mean the right set of coworkers, the right family, the right relationship partner, all of those things, finding those people in your life is very important, and not letting other people, drain your energy, mooch off of your hard work, any of that kind of stuff. It's all very important to a wolf. All right, next we have, I can't count, card number 10, I think. Okay. So this one is the bull. Now, bulls are, I believe, not as aggressive as they tend to seem in like the rodeos and things like that. People intentionally did things to make bulls seem more aggressive, but the truth of bulls is that they are very protective. They're not going to let people mess around with their herd, mess around with the people around them. They want to make sure that the environment is safe and fruitful for the people. For bulls, obviously it's not people, but for a bull person, the people in your clan, you want to make sure that your home is safe, your territory is safe. And bull people can have a very standoffish energy. Like when you come, this isn't the same as being a Taurus, for the record. I know they're both bulls, but they're a little bit different. Across as standoffish, like when people first enter your home, they might feel a little bit unwelcome. They feel like, oh my gosh, I can't touch anything. Is it actually okay for me to be here? I need to be very, very careful about everything I do. Because the thing about bulls is they are very, very earthy. They're very connected to the material plane, and they're very connected to their surroundings around them. So whereas some personalities, like let's say a hummingbird type of person, they might not be as worried about, what other people are doing around them. Like if someone's touching stuff in their house, they might be like all for it, very friendly about it, willing to say, oh yeah, that's this thing, that thing, and the other thing. They're more communicative. Bulls might not be as talkative. They're going to be more physically grounded, and their energy is going to feel more firm. It might feel like they're even like refusing to interact with you at times. So as someone who is attracted to this card today, what it's likely telling you is you don't have to be social. You don't have to engage in what other people wanted you to do, even, really. Excuse me. It is okay. It is okay to totally just be yourself and be content with yourself, like I was here in that moment, not canceling the live video, even though I just burped, basically, which is a little bit embarrassing, but whatever. I'm a freaking human, not a robot. I just proved it. But it's the bull card today. It's about being content with yourself and not feeling like you have to subject yourself to other people's rules. Because when you try to do that, when someone tries to force you to do that, it actually makes you pretty angry. It's pretty irritating for you. And that's not where you're at your best. A bull is someone who's going to determine their own lifestyle, and they're kind of making the rules for themselves. They might seem like they're very autonomous, and they might even seem like they're unwilling to cooperate. But the bull is telling you that you don't really have to cooperate with anyone else. And that might not be where you're at your best. You're probably at your best when you are just cooperating with yourself and making yourself feel content and comfortable. Does that necessarily mean you're selfish? Maybe, maybe not. It depends on the circumstance. But this card today is telling you you might need to be a little more autonomous and not worry as much about what other people want you to do right now, even if it means you come across as unfriendly. All right, card number 11. And this one is the caribou. So what is the actual difference between a caribou and a deer? I feel like I always forget. If anyone wants to remind us, I would love to see you leave a comment about it right now. If my husband were here and he wanted to be in the video, I'm sure he could tell us, but he's not. So let's all be like a little catty about that right now. Why did Penny's husband not join her for the video? Okay, so a caribou, similar to a deer, it does show the ability to bring kind of that earthy stability, like, oh, I'm going to have nice things, I'm going to work, and I'm going to acquire nice things for myself, and bring that in connection with the spiritual plane. Like, why am I actually doing this in a spiritual sense? What is my spiritual motivation for working? What is my spiritual motivation for creating things in the physical plane? And this is someone who I feel like you guys would be very attached to things that are handmade. And that's like the ultimate, grand gesture for someone who got that card here today. If you actually handmade something for someone, you made a craft for them and you gave it as a gift, that probably means that person is very, very important and very, very special to you. And that's what you're communicating with that. Likewise, you might have a habit of getting very attached to these types of objects, things that have a history, things that have a spiritual, emotional, or even psychological significance for you. You get kind of attached to things at times, and that's okay because it's part of what you use to connect yourself spiritually. So for Caribou people, I feel like it'd be really important for you to have focus items. You might even want to, keep a gemstone in your pocket while you're at work or something along those lines. Or if you can get away with wearing jewelry at your job, that might be an easier way to do it. I'm also getting a strong sense of survivorhood from this card, and, being able to be stable and being able to hold your ground even when things seem like they're scary, but then also just having that right amount of ability to, calculate and understand, when do you actually need to run, when do you need to actually get out of here. So it's the ability to tell when there is actually danger and when there isn't danger, and finding that kind of balance between the two things. And you have a powerful ability to be able to create things in your life, to be able to create abundance and, earn a good, stable income and provide things for people around you. But a lot of it is actually going to rely on your intuition. So those things that make you seem like you're a little bit kooky, a little bit out there, like that gemstone you're sneakily carrying around in your pocket, those things can actually be your superpower as a Caribou. All right, card number 12. And this one is very simply the fish. All right, so I am going to clarify, I don't think it would be possible to just have like a school of fish as your spirit animal, because that's not like one individual animal. What I'm getting from this card is that your spirit animal is probably some type of aquatic creature that was not otherwise mentioned here today. That's what is most likely going on here, and you're going to have to dig a little bit more to be able to find that. Now, one thing about fish and other aquatic animals is that they really rely on other animals around them for information. They're very in tune with what is going on, and they pick up on subtle cues, subtle changes. So you're probably very intuitive. You might even be the type of person you can tell when it's going to rain. I feel like that's how, if there's clouds in the sky, that's not what I mean though. Like, you can tell if something is coming, and it doesn't necessarily have to be rain or weather related. You can tell when something is about to happen, and you get this sense of it, and you kind of know that you need to prepare now, you need to act now. So you get this just sort of instinct that is actually very good for you. Not only does it keep you alive, because most of us thankfully are not fighting for survival, but what it's more likely to do is it's going to help you thrive. It's going to help you find your way to better situations and better circumstances, the fact that you were able to take this step to prepare. So if you got this card today, Spirit is telling you to listen to your intuition. So if you get this like sudden hunkering, like, oh, I need to go out and buy like a bunch of flour today, it might be because there's something specific you need to prepare for. If you get a feeling like, oh man, I really just feel like I need to go back to school, but I can't justify that, it might be because this education is going to help you further on. It might be because there's an unexpected career change coming your way. And the thing about fish is that they are very adaptable, and they respond to things that are going on in their environment. So that is our spirit animal pick a card for today. I hope you enjoyed that. At some point, I will have links in the description that'll help you find more resources about spirit animals and stuff like that. And if you are looking for an actual practitioner, I'm hoping that I can get one to refer you to so that you can really understand more about how spirit animals can help you in your life. And if you're interested in more astrology and tarot stuff, go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel so that I can see you again. And leave me a comment because I love reading positive comments from kind people. So I'd love to see more of that. And hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend or week whenever you saw this video. Bye.